All right, day 3. I don't care what you say, the headphones are staying on because this ear infection sucks, but I'll get more into that later. So we're gonna drive to the gym. It's 5:10. We're heading back. I can't even hear out of my right ear. Like, this sucks. Let's see here. Code Kerchief at checkout for Alpha Lion supplements. Best tasting, easygoing supplements in the game. Use code Kerchief at checkout. I like Blue Steel. I like the Hulk juice flavor. The pump formula is pretty nuts. This is what I really love, though. I'm only going to take like a very little amount of this, though, because while I'm hitting back, I still get some like chest and humerus activation. So I totally don't want to like mess up my, totally don't want to injure this area or hurt it anymore. I'm trying to really let that heal. Because, we got a double whammy going on. Not only do I have a little bit of chest pain here and there with certain movements, my ear is infected or something. Like, we're totally getting screwed here, which is not fun at all. Especially when this is day 3 of the bulk. This morning I woke up at 191. So, this bulk though is not going to be like, I don't want it to be super like crazy like the last one. I kind of just want to be in a slow steady gain. That's the smarter way to do it, because I've been under the knowledge and for the lack of better words, for the all good knowing that when you're natural and you have a super successful workout, you have a super successful recovery, like you hit your protein goals, you get a good amount of carbs in you, you hit your calorie goal, you're in a slight calorie surplus, and then you get at least 7-8 hours of sleep. I am now under the ideology or the factual information that even if you do that, everything perfect, as a natural, if you've been training for a little bit, you're not even putting on 1/10 of a pound of muscle in the specific area that you're hitting. So if you want to, like, let's say for instance that you put on 1/100th of a pound of muscle. If you do all those things perfectly, you have a perfect chest workout. After that perfect chest workout, you hit your perfect protein goal. You're in a 200-300 calorie surplus, and then you sleep a perfect 7 to 8 hours. If you do all that, you're only 1/100th away of putting a pound of muscle on your chest. Put that into perspective. So, you need to do that 100 times in order to have a pound of muscle put on your chest. Which, a pound of muscle is a good amount. I'm not going to say that's like negligible, but it's not, you can't really see it either though. It's a good amount. So those are all good things, food for thought to keep in mind. When you're bulking and doing stuff like this, it's kind of got to play it as slow as you possibly can, and put on mass as slow as you possibly can. And let's say you have 65 perfect chest workouts. That's, if you do a 3-day split, that's 180 days. That's half a year. That's about how long a bulk is going to be. You just put on 1/2 pound of muscle in your chest. You really think you're going to be able to see 1/2 pound of muscle in both pecs? So really, you put a 1/4 pound on this pec and a 1/4 pound on this pec. Like, it's kind of negligible. So it's very easy to think that you're not making progress. You have to push the calories even more, when you should honestly go as slow as possible. Now for me, I need to take my own advice, because these past 3 days I have been grubbing. I've been eating well above 2,800, well above 2,500, which 2,500 is the goal. But it is a little different for me. I'm dealing with this ear infection, and I'm trying to recover my chest. So I'm trying to give it a little bit more food for thought. Not food for thought, my bad. I don't know what I'm saying. A little bit more food to use to recover. Because I don't want to get too fat too quick. Because like I said, putting on muscle is a very, very, very slow process when you're natural, even if you're doing everything perfectly. So, I almost got that fly. That was crazy. Now, you may ask about the headphones. The headphones are staying like this because my ear doesn't feel weird. Do you ever have an ear infection or swimmer's ear? Let me put you on some game real quick. So I got an antibiotic because I went to get it looked at last night because it was hurting so bad. But I looked it up, and it said in order to drain your ear to help relief, use a blow dryer. Put it on low. Put the blow dryer near your ear, not too close, but like out here. Dude, that thing works wonders. Yeah, blow dry your ear if you have an ear infection or a swimmer's ear. I think I have swimmer's ear. I don't really know, dude. It just sucks. It's not optimal for gains at all. I got terrible sleep last night. I got terrible sleep the night before. So terrible sleep, ear problems, this pec thing. Like, dude. Ugh. Not fun. Things could be so much better. I'll just leave it at that. But, as you can see, yeah, that's not stopping me. Still gonna hit a crazy back workout. Just trying to play around it. I took a little bit of ibuprofen. Keeping the headphones on, like if I have it over both ears, really helps. So, yeah, I'm gonna do some cardio too after the lift. Watch some YouTube, Sam Sulek maybe. Or I've been watching Brody Shreds and I forgot what that guy's name is, Luke, I think. They're pretty funny. I just started watching them. And I'm also watching The Godfather. Tried to watch it a while ago and I couldn't. I was like, dang, this really sucks. It's slow. But I'm watching it again. Like, I got like 20 minutes in the movie. I was like, this sucks. But I'm re-watching it. And I'm really liking it so far. But yeah, another thing you don't want to do when you're bulking, which I'm on track to, which is not good, so I need to slow down the calories, is you don't want to get too fat too quick. Because once you get too fat, you really have nowhere to go. Like, you just have to stay in that surplus. I guess you could stay in the surplus that you're at, or the maintenance, because you're still putting on muscle. Because you're in a surplus, so you just have to make sure you're training hard and getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep and hitting your protein goal, obviously. But you just don't want to get too fat too quick because you don't have to do that. Like, you don't have to get too fat. Especially another thing that comes in clutch is you don't want to get too fat because when you start dieting, that stuff's got to go. You get what I'm saying? If it only takes 100 calories or 200 calories at the very most to put on the tissue that you need as a natural after a workout, you know, you dang near just have to eat 250 to 300 calories above maintenance. And people are saying that, you know, when you're putting on a 1/100th pound of muscle as a natural after you do everything perfectly, you don't even need 150 calories to do that. You get what I'm saying? So, I will say there's some truth to main gaining. But then here's another step. Here's another thing you have to look at. Keeping that 200 to 300 calorie surplus is honestly ideal because when you're training, if you can leverage carbs, your lifts are going to go better, so you can go harder, so you can train harder, which means more muscle growth. You know what I'm saying? So, don't overdo it, but I think there is some legitimacy to, you know, main gaining is cool. You know, if it only takes like 75 calories theoretically to put on a 1/100th pound of muscle that you get from training super perfectly for each muscle group, then yeah, I think main gaining is pretty legit. But if you're eating more carbs, you're gonna have better workouts, you can train harder, you can probably put on mass at a faster rate. You get what I'm saying? But if you eat too many, then you're screwing yourself because you'll have so much fat and you'll get too fat too quick. That's not the point. The point is just put your body in a fed state so when it has those extra calories, it'll just develop muscular mass. Because when you're cutting as a natural, you know, you're in a caloric deficit, your body is just trying to maintain, you're trying to hold on to as much muscle as possible. Enough with that, let's just go lift. Hopefully my ear doesn't bother me, and hopefully my chest doesn't bother me. We're gonna really make sure that doesn't happen. So yeah, I'll see you in there.
You give me a spell. You give me
Go ahead. Go ahead. Tell the channel something. Tell them how we
Get
were
in
the
here.
OG.
You need to get in here, get on this PPC program.
What does PPC
You know what I'm
stand
saying?
for?
Get vascular.
Tell
Nah,
them.
I just have crazy genetics, bro.
That's
But
my bad.
love the veins that I got. But
Now tell them
Don't
what
eat like
PPC
me.
stands for.
PPC stands for pizza, protein, and creatine. Now, if you're a real OG, you know about PPPC.
Yo, I don't even know
But-
about that.
That's for viewers only and VIP subscribers. So get on out of here.
That's my I'd say OG gym partner.
Yeah,
I don't think I had anybody before you. That's my OG gym partner right here.
Yeah. Hold on. I give the channel what they want.
I might
When people used to call us twins, bro.
the Italian twins, Mario and then Luigi. I think you might see him, or you should see him, a couple weeks from now, or we'll have to see. So that's actually a fire photo, man. That's like, how long ago was that? 3 years?
March 2023.
Yeah, so like 2 years ago.
Oh, God.
All right, I'm gonna hit this next set.